So, welcome back everyone to our Dark Souls series here. Let's move on past this fog gate, and actually there's no boss behind that waiting for us. Instead we just ran over a pressure plate, which again shot 3 arrows from that direction through the tunnel here. It was kind of hard to see due to my movement and rolling. Let's wait for the boulder here and then just run past it. And running up here, we can do some stuff. You can see that new boulders are falling down from there through all this machinery, I guess. It's just a lot of big gear wheels, however. There's actually a giant throwing this down, which we will see later on. Then we can move this a little bit. And actually I've kind of been moving it into the wrong direction right now, because it will just go into nothingness from there. That was the old direction, where the boulders where we were passing the boulders. And this is a new direction. Yeah, it opens up a certain way. And then we actually want to turn it back to this way, because it grants us access to some special location. And I hope I was right with all the things that I was saying. Let's check. So, some items here, but I think it would have to be opened from the other side. How is it here? We can go down here, here, and... Alright, that was a little bit scary. And I think, yeah, that's a deadly elevator. Up there you can see some spikes. So it goes down, up like this, would kill us. And then I think it's too fast to follow it down. We would just fall into our death. So let's continue this direction. I think the boulders are not changing direction, are they? No, alright. Then we can drop down here. Oh, this guy, maybe we should have killed him. Oh, actually, that was no successful parry. Okay, 2 hits are not enough. Alright, alright. 3 do work out. And then we have 2 things here. One being this guy.
You seem quite lucid.
Big Head Logan.
A rare thing in these times. I am Logan. I'm a bit cooped up, as you can see. I have a bright idea. Suppose you set me free. I'm old and empty-handed, but I could repay you with knowledge and sorcery. This place is melting my mind. The inactivity is repressive.
And using the master key we can get him free.
Oh, heavens! Thank you! I'm saved. And I'd love to resume my travels, but I must log a few things first, and I owe you a favor. I will return to Firelink Shrine. Speak with me there, so that I may impart my sorcery.
Alright, however, we're not really interested in sorcery. Just want to get him free.
Oh, hello. Don't mind me, go on ahead.
Yep, alright. So we do get on with our way. So the second thing being this here. So that's 10k souls right there. This should just be death, I think. Yep. And then there's also the option to go into this elevator here, which will bring us down back to the entrance, I think. Or never mind, it doesn't work for the moment. We can use it at a later point to get further up way then. Alright, if you listen carefully, you could also listen at how the direction of the mechanism was just changed. Interestingly, and now it's changed again. We want to drop down somewhere here. That was not quite it, and now we kind of have to run, not get hit by the boulder. Interesting that it got turned away from us. Kind of strange, but now new boulders should be getting this way. And they go down here and fall down there. Right? Are they now coming from a different... No, there he's coming. Goes in there. Alright, and these are stacking up, and then something special happens. So much I might say already. This should be the other part of the elevator. The deadly one, you can see the blood spill on it. But we don't want to use it right now. Instead we have this chest here. And it's kind of tough to see here, but do you remember what I said about the chains? Look at these. They turn to the front. So that's a deadly mimic and not a friendly chest. If chests can ever be friendly. So it has the lightning spear for us. Don't think we will really use that weapon. However, We got some souls from there. And now, as you can see, the boulders here have broken through the wall. Go here, leads us to this ring here, which can be quite nice if you want to farm certain items. I think the gold ones are the ones that increase item discovery. And instead of running the stairs back up, which can be deadly quite easily, we want to wait for this elevator here to bring us up. But as we could have seen in the movement, there's a very short time where we can leave the elevator without dying, and then it goes further up to kill us. So let's try to time that right. I think we can actually run against the wall here. Yep, and then it goes further up to the spikes. Right. So we're mostly done here. Now let's go back this way to get up here. And we don't want any more boulders in this direction. Let's move it here. Right. And there's one more item I want to get and one enemy I want to kill. For which we have to drop down, which I just planned last time around. Okay, here it is better. Let's try to parry. Okay, never mind. The timing was completely wrong. And we almost procced the bleed proc. Okay, but it worked out. So, some more souls, nice. Then, let's move back. I didn't hear the thing mechanism changing, so it should still be safe here. Yep, okay. So, this is the way to move on. A lot of these wall thingies where arrows will come out, so I always like to step on it for a brief second and then do this jump back here. Otherwise, this can be quite deadly. So, I think some of the last swinging axes. And then there should be... How am I doing this? This guy first, I think. Parry him. Alright. Yeah, okay, the riposte is enough to one-shot him. No. No thanks. Not interested to fall into my death. Let's get rid of him here. Still, I don't know what I should say about this super slow, strong attack here. I mean, when enemies don't manage to attack us in the meantime, it's really hitting so hard, but it looks kind of dumb, I think. He's just taking so much time to do it. Alright, so some more large titanites. Yeah, I really want to go for some weapon diversity, but I'm so undecided with that. I think in some of the next episodes I will think about how we do that. So that will be the last axis here. I think we can run through them in one go. And then, okay, actually I didn't remember that pressure plate. But there's one more of these serpent guys here, 4-armed serpent guys. Okay, doesn't really want to attack in close range. So let's knock him down. Goodbye. Right, then... I think that's the same drop down from below. Another pressure plate, but we can just run it. Since the arrows will be hitting down there somewhere. Then we could go into that direction to get a certain ring. But we don't really plan to use that. So there's just one enemy there, which we will see in other places as well. So I don't really care to do so. Let's get some souls here. And also drop down here to unlock this bonfire here. Do we need to upgrade this one? I don't really feel like it, I gotta say. Should work out like this with 5 Estus being enough, I hope. I hope that's not too ballsy, but I, of course, am kind of sparse on my humanity. And don't want to use too many for them, especially on bosses where I think we should be fine with a little bit less humanity. Or with less Estus, to be more precise. But before the boss, we will have to face some other rare and even unique enemies. So first of all, there's this guy, who was also at the Undead Parish. As you can see, we now do so much more damage to him. I think he even has some more HP actually, but we still finish him so much faster due to our weapon being so strong here. Nope. Goodbye. More large titanites? Okay, I feel kinda invited to use a standard upgrade path weapon. And then there's one more enemy here, and I think 2 chests, although I'm not quite sure what is inside the chests. I remember them, it as kind of optional. Not too sure though. Okay, so that should be a Rickard, I think his name is, because he were dropping his rapier, being Rickard's rapier. Who would have thought? Okay, that's what I meant. These heavy attacks is so fucking slow. He managed to go to us, attack above our head, then go back, and all that before our attack was even through. But it worked. It still hit him and deal tons of damage. So Rickard's rapier. However, we will probably not be using that. Rare Ring of Sacrifice, okay. Don't plan to use that too much. There's one opportunity where that might be interesting. Anti-Divine Blessing here. Yeah, that is a little bit faster with the Homeward Bone. So sure, let's just use that. And we can also spend our souls before we move on. I think 27 strength is a nice sweet spot since, again, from there on, it will be multiplied by 1.5 to 40.5. And 40 is one of the soft breakpoints, where every point from there on will give us less scaling than earlier points. So 27 is quite nice, unless, of course, any weapon requires more strength, or we want to use something one-handed, which we could otherwise only use two-handed. But that's why we go for this 27 here. And then I guess some more endurance, so that at some point we might wear the dark flame sorcerer, pyromancy, whatever robes, and not the sorcery stuff here. So we can now work our way towards the boss. The side paths are cleared. Of course, there is some more stuff to do here and there, but I don't mind doing that too much. We actually do want to jump this bridge, I think. Alright. Jumping is quite a risky thing in this game here. It's not really working as intended in any case, and the game running on 60 FPS actually makes jumping harder in some cases, because the gravity frames are calculated on a per frame basis and not on a per second basis. And with more frames per second, so if you maybe have an FPS unlock mod or something, you should definitely deactivate it before you jump that ledge there. Alright, so let's talk to him.
Ah, what? What? Who are you? Ah, another undead, eh? I took on Sen's fortress alone, but I'm no different from those vile creatures. I was driven by conceit. Ah, you think you're different? That you can handle it? Yes, I remember that feeling. For I was the same. So, let me help you out. With your soul searching.
Yeah, feel free to help us out.
There's nothing more to say. I'm finished. We're both on the brink, you see. End of story. You bloody fool.
However, I think him helping us out, with that he actually means helping us on the boss fight, but of course we don't plan to do that. We can buy endless amounts of large titanite shards here, if we ever plan to use some of them. And that shield here, I think, has quite a nice stability, with 63 without any upgrades. Yeah, we are just going for them.
Fine then. Rush in like a naked babe and be skinned alive.
For the grass cast shield. I can't really dodge the dialogue text here too much. Yeah, maybe if I move the chair and go back like this. Well, okay. So I wanted to check our weapons if we plan to do and go for anything else here. I'm not too convinced yet, I gotta say. No, I think we will stick with this one for a little bit longer and not buy any large titanite shards here. So we can go down here, and I think we get ourselves some key down here. A key to a shortcut, basically. So in a fast-paced run, I will usually not go down here. But for the sake of seeing most of the level here, we can still do that. If I'm even right with my thinking. Yeah, so that's the cage key, and with that we should be able to unlock a elevator on the way ahead. So let's make this jump again. Right, did not roll down accidentally. You can also jump on the wall there to jump to that giant, and then all the boulder stuff stops, but we don't really need to do that here. We should kind of move on, because these boulders are getting thrown at us from another giant who doesn't like us. And then the item which you were able to see down there, that is the ring I was talking about, that drops behind one of these boulder knights here. I think. Or wasn't it actually in a chest? I'm not too sure right now, but it is nothing of importance, so much I know. So with the cage key, we should be able to open these thingies here. This one as well. No, not really. Okay. But we can go down here, and it would bring us back to Sorcerer Logan, who might have moved on to Firelink Shrine already, but we don't really need to do so here. We can use the shortcut anyway. Opening the key should be sufficient to be able to use that. However, I don't even plan to do so really, since I plan to first try this boss here, of course. So where is you? Man, these explosions are so loud. And then back here, I think there's just a summoning sign, no item. Please prove me wrong. Okay, no item, yeah. Just the summoning sign from Iron Tarkus, who was just offering us his existence, or assistance, and not existence. And I think under certain conditions you can also summon Solaire there, although I don't know what the conditions for that are. And this huge dude here is the giant which was throwing the boulders at us, which exploded behind our feet. So let's get rid of him. I don't know why he's so angry about us, but yeah, you started the fight, so I'm gonna end it. Although he's raging quite a bit here, but now he's exhausted, and we can finish him off easy. Titanite chunk, nice. And I think there's nothing else up here. I just like to roll through the remaining boulders, who are so hollow. Looks kind of strange. And yeah. So again, unfortunately, we have to end the episode here in front of a fog gate. I know we would like to see the boss already, but actually we can get a little sneak peek here through the window, as you can see. So that will be our next boss. The Iron Golem is called, I think. And yeah, he will have a speciality to him whenever we finish him. So let's see next episode if we can try to first try him, because that will open up a path to a whole different area, I can tell you. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, etc. Follow on social media and do all that stuff. And even subscribe on Patreon if you want. And then I will see you in the next one. Bye!